What's really going on? We're diving into that today. And remember the big crypto whale we mentioned yesterday? Well, they've just doubled down again. What does that signal for the crypto scene? Hey there, awesome humans. Let's chat about the latest in crypto, Bitcoin, XRP, and the overall market vibes. All I ask in return, flash me that brilliant smile and soak in the positive energy. And hey, if you're feeling the good vibes, go ahead and gently smash that like button. It's free. Yep, costs nothing. Let's see if we can hit 3,000 likes on this one. I believe in you all, ladies, gents, and legends in between. So it's a bright Sunday morning and the crypto space is looking lush and green. What's even more exciting? Meme coins are heating up again. That usually hints at something brewing just beneath the surface. And yes, our favorite coin, the stinky one, dad jokes, I get a free pass, is climbing up by 8.4% today. Now zooming into Bitcoin, it's bounced back into the $104,000 range. XRP isn't far behind either, it's sitting confidently at $2.39. Taking a glance at the 1-hour chart, there might be a potential crossover coming up between the 13 and 48 EMA. The last time that happened, XRP soared nearly 25% over the next 4 days. So yeah, that's definitely on my radar for the hours ahead. Switching over to the daily chart, XRP has shown a slight pullback on the stochastic RSI. Not alarming, but worth keeping an eye on. Could this be a real momentum shift for a Sunday rally, or are we heading into another fake out? Either way, I'm also keeping tabs on the futures market. There's still a noticeable gap down near the $92,000 mark, which could attract some attention. Still, many in the space remain bullish, and Monday could bring some big moves. One point of concern buzzing around is the Moody's downgrade of the US economy. But let's keep it real, this isn't the first time it's happened. In fact, it's the third downgrade so far, and Moody's is just catching up to where other credit agencies already are. It wasn't exactly shocking news. The real test will be how markets react tonight when futures open, or tomorrow morning once the bell rings. As always, I don't pretend to know where the market will swing next. I'm not here to tell you to buy, sell, or hold. This isn't financial advice, just some market talk and good vibes. Be smart, do your own research, and make decisions that suit your situation. Just a quick reminder, I'll never slide into your DMs asking you to sign up for anything or send me money. If you see that, it's not me. Those are scammers, plain and simple. Please stay sharp and protect yourself online. Now here's something interesting for my viewers across the pond. While most of you tuning in are from the US, the second biggest group comes from the UK. So this next bit is especially for the 6% of you based there, and it's a major update on crypto regulations. The UK government has announced that by 2026 all crypto-related transactions must be reported. That means names, addresses, tax identification numbers, the amount of crypto traded, its type, value in British pounds, and even the exact time of the transaction. All of it needs to be logged. Yet, no detail gets left out. And if companies or individuals don't comply, they could face fines reaching up to $300 per user. That's no joke. Compare that to the US, where similar rules were discussed but then scaled back. The UK looks set to move full steam ahead. So if you're in the UK, this is something you'll need to prepare for. It seems like most of the burden will fall on exchanges, but there's still a grey area. For instance, what happens when you're just transferring crypto between your own wallets? There's no buying or selling involved, but would you still need to report that? That's where understanding local tax laws becomes crucial. Honestly, wherever you live, you need to get familiar with your country's tax regulations regarding crypto. These things can be tricky, and a lot of people end up in bad situations just because they didn't know the rules. For example, someone might owe taxes on gains, but by the time the bill comes around, the value of their crypto dropped, and now they can't pay. It's happened to many. So please talk to a qualified tax professional before things get messy. Better safe than sorry. Now back to the markets. You remember that massive Bitcoin whale we talked about? The one holding a mix of Bitcoin, XRP and Pepe. Well, he just went in even deeper. He's increased his Bitcoin stash, bringing the total value of his position to a staggering $390 million. On the XRP front, he's currently down a bit. He bought in when it was at $2.49, and right now it's hovering around $2.39, so not a huge drop, but still in the red. His Bitcoin entry point was $103K, so he's seeing gains there. And his Pepe investment, which he picked up at 0.2077, is doing quite well too. So while his XRP holding is currently underperforming, the rest of his portfolio is looking pretty strong. It looks like he's taken quite a hit, down more than 100% on one of his positions. The only reason he's still in the game is likely because he's got enough liquidity or margin to keep it afloat. But here's the real jaw-dropper: the funding fees alone are massive. He's already shelled out around $1 million just on Pepe. For Bitcoin, where he's leveraged 40x and XRP at 20x, the risk is seriously high. This is a prime example of why leverage can be dangerous if you're not careful. Definitely something worth paying attention to. Now switching gears, BitMEX is back in the spotlight. It's been one of the biggest names in crypto derivatives since way back in 2014. And according to a recent post, they hinted at some major news that could ripple across the entire market, no pun intended, since they actually tagged Ripple in the post. What could be cooking between BitMEX and Ripple? We've seen BitMEX make big moves before, like when they acquired Bitstamp, but this time it's different. There's no Robinhood connection here, so whatever's coming, it's a fresh new development, and the crypto world is watching closely. Meanwhile, Raoul made some interesting remarks during his appearance on the Vision podcast. When XRP came up, he didn't shy away from praising the chart. He admitted that none of them are heavy into XRP personally, but even he couldn't ignore the setup. It looks poised for a major move upward, and it ties right into the bigger picture with Bitcoin dominance. He also pointed out that the Doge Bitcoin chart looks wild, suggesting Dogecoin might once again outperform Bitcoin, potentially making it one of the strongest performing assets out there. Yeah, it's kind of wild to say, but in crypto we've seen stranger things. So when Raoul says XRP might be gearing up for another leg up, it actually tracks. If the entire market sees a lift, it makes sense that one of the biggest altcoins would follow. And if you look at the XRP chart over the long haul, it's been solid, moving from 50 cents up to $2 or even $3 at its peaks. Sure, in the short term, XRP's in a bit of a pullback, along with the broader market, but the coin's been showing resilience. If we get a breakout into the summer and Bitcoin pushes to new highs, XRP could ride that wave hard. And it's not just price action, Ripple's making real-world moves too. They just launched a pilot program for the XRP ledger in Colombia, aimed at helping farmers. It's called Farm Now Pay Later, and it helps trace crops all the way from planting to harvest. This kind of partnership shows how Ripple is pushing XRP into practical real-world use cases. Elsewhere, China is still printing money like there's no tomorrow, and that could shape how markets behave in the near future. A lot of traders are also watching patterns based on Wyckoff analysis, which suggests that a spring moment occurred around April 6th, and the big markup phase could kick in around June 7th. If that happens, whales will likely drive prices higher, and the media will retroactively attach some news story to explain the move. But in reality,